Today we're going to be doing section 2.3 on periodic properties. You need to have your notes ready to go, your formula sheet, and your calculator. Again, you can pause at any time when you feel you need to slow things down a little. So like I just said, section 2.3, the first part of it is review. You already know this stuff, so this would be a good time to hit pause and write this down, because I'm going to just start talking about it. Sine of theta, cosine theta, cosecant theta, secant of theta, their period is 2 pi or 360, which we just talked about the other day, about reducing them down in multiples of 360. Cotangent and tangent, of course, are our special cases where we need to reduce those down in multiples of 180 or pi. So that's really not new. And the rest of this is actually not new either. It's just in a separate section. So when it says find the exact value, again, you may want to hit pause here. And you look on your formula sheet, because you know exact value means, hey, you can't have a decimal. You can't just pop it in the calculator. And you look for 17 pi over 4. There is no 17 pi over 4. It's too big. So we have to reduce it down in multiples of 360 or 2 pi. Since this one's in radians, it's a lot easier if you put it into degrees first. So we'll take 17 pi over 4 times 180 over pi and put that in the calculator. So go ahead and do that. 17 times 180 divided by 4. 17 times 180 divided by 4 gives you 765 degrees. So I'm dealing with 765. Now you just keep subtracting off in multiples of 360 until you can find it on the unit circle. So minus 360. Nope. Minus 360. Yep. 45 you can find. Now it doesn't matter to me if you don't write this 720, but I do need to see the sine of 45 degrees. Then of course you'll look that up on the unit circle, and sine of course is the y value. So 45 sine, there it is, square root of 2 over 2. That's the answer to the problem. Hit the pause key and do number 2. When you're done, come back and check your answer. All right, so hopefully you hit the pause key. We're going to go ahead and multiply by 180 over pi. So the pi's cancel, and you just need to do 5 times 180, which would give you 900. So we've got 900 that we need to subtract off in multiples of 360. That didn't work. And that'll do it down to 180. So I'm subtracted it off twice. So I'll be looking for the cosine of 180 degrees. Now, go to my unit circle. Cosine is the x value. 180 is over here. X is negative 1. Now we're going to slide this up a little bit. Take a look at number 3. Go ahead and write that down. You may want to pause it. Now notice if you look on your unit circle, tangent of 5 pi over 4 is on there. It's down here. But it's too big for tangent. Remember, tangent can only be from 0 to pi or 0 to 180. So this one is past where I'm allowed to look for tangent. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and convert it to degrees. You always want these in degrees because it's just easier to work with. And if you don't want to write that step down, you feel pretty comfortable with that, you don't have to write that step down. If you need the step, then write it. So 5 pi over 4, 180 over pi. You put that in your calculator, you get 225 degrees. Or you realize 5 pi over 4 is at 225, and you wouldn't have to even do that step. Now I need to subtract off in multiples of 180. So if you do 225 minus 180, you'll get the tangent of 45 degrees. That's what I'm looking for. I need to see that tangent of 45. I'll get the same answer as I would have at the 225, but I need to see that 45. Tangent is y over x. Anything divided by itself is 1. Then the last one we're going to look at, I want you to go ahead and do. So again, pause the video and do number 4. All right, so on number 4, you didn't have to change it to anything because it's already in degrees. So all you have to do is subtract by 360, and you'll get secant of 180 degrees. So I'll go to my unit circle, 180. Secant's reciprocal, let's see, secant's reciprocal is cosine. So this is x, so I'm going to flip it. Remember, this is really negative 1 over 1. So if I flip it, now I've got 1 over negative 1, which is just negative 1. A common error is to want to do something with the 0, but you're just looking at the x value, not the y value when you're looking at secant. Now, your assignment will be on page 120, 1 to 15 odd. Make sure you're writing the problems, showing the work, checking the answers. And of course, you want to keep your notes out when you start on that assignment. What I'm going to do now is put the book up here so then you don't have to go back and get a book. You can just freeze it on this screen. So these are just like the problems you did today. It says that they're periodic, which just means you know that they go from 0 to 360 or 0 to 180 if it's tangent and cotangent. So there you can get your 1 to 15, and you don't have to go back and get a book. And that's it.